Watts was pre-taping some interviews after that, during that encounter 2 weeks ago, and we want to show exactly what happened there. Equal time.
Somebody get this sissy out of here. Just get him on out of here. You're one match away. One match. You gotta beat Taylor. One match. Then you'll be against, if you win against Crusher Khrushchev. Somebody get this sissy out of here. If you got something to say, say it later. Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor, like I said before.
Just a little bit more to my liking, Jim Ross. You see what happens. I've told people time and time again, nobody puts their hands on me, and I've especially told Dennis and Bobby, if anyone is to touch me in any way, I don't care who it is, wrestler or otherwise, they should swoop down on them and leave no meat on their bones like a pair of vultures. That's exactly what happened to your Buffalo Bill Watts. Nobody places their hands on me, Jim Ross. I've told you time and time again. All right, let me interrupt here just for a moment and let you know that you are not dealing with a normal human being. You're not dealing with a normal athlete, and he's not a washed-up ex-cowboy. No, I think that you've got things all wrong. Cowboy Bill Watts, for a long, long time, was an international wrestling star, the top 10 contender in many wrestling associations, the former North American champion. He settled scores very uniquely. He settled them mentally, and he settled them physically. And he settled things very uniquely. And I talked to him a couple of days ago. Let's hear what he had to say.
Kids are great.
Had to say.
I've been very fortunate in the last few years to see some very exciting and unusual things in Mid-South wrestling. But the sport of wrestling is very unpredictable. And Bill, what happened here last week, I'm like everybody that's seen it. It was totally uncalled for. And I know that you want to make a statement in regards to that incident.
Well, that's right, Jim. You know, I think all sports are getting a little bit out of control. It seems like life itself is, you know, that when people want to try to live within the framework or the rules and regulations, it seems like they get stepped on and they get run over and they try to get some kind of justice and they can't get it. I think more and more people are just having to take things into their own hands. And certainly, you know, when I retired from wrestling, I retired by choice, not because I had to. And I'm no strangers to lumps and bruises. I knew when I got into the sport of professional wrestling that you had to be able to lose as well as win. And I never was where I could look a man in the eye that beat me fair and square and said, you were a better man tonight. You won this one. Didn't mean I wasn't going to try to whip him later. But when thugs try to enforce their rule by running over everybody, by forcing people into matches, by tarring, feathering them, by whipping them with belts, and I admit that I lost my temper, something I haven't done in 2 years, and I slapped one loudmouth sissy. But let me tell you, pal, just because I've kept that temper in check for a couple of years, when you're insulting my family, you're attacking me deep. And there's no American out there. This country was made on standing up for what's right and standing up for God and country and your family. So I'm not apologizing for slapping your mouth, sissy. But what happened? The way you got back, things are out of control. You know, I thought about it a long time. Fines don't work because he doesn't pay him, his mommy does. Beating him up, everybody knows I can do that. I want to humiliate him. I want one last time. The last stampede, I guess. I guess the fire is still there. I want it to come on out and boil down one time. Cowboy Bill Watts back in the ring one time. And I want to humiliate Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express in such a way that he will be ashamed to ever show his face. He won't ever be able to look people in the eye because everybody's going to say, remember what Cowboy Bill Watts did to you? You'll never forget the last stampede, Cornette. I got a surprise for you and the Midnight Express.
I am tired, Jim Ross, of hearing what used to be. Steak used to be 10 cents a pound. That's just a mouthful of memories. What I want to know is what can one man do? That is one man there. There's three of us, and believe me, that guy is a lunatic, and I don't ever go any place without Dennis and Bobby. But what can one man do to the Midnight Express? Well, I think that better than I should answer the question, that Cowboy Bill Watts should answer the question. And if you'll sit right here where you are, we do have a commercial commitment.